number one desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got tons of soul, I'm a true collectible. Famous, also famous, number one desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got change.
Hey Untamables, this is author and poet Kiana Dene. I just wanted to send some love to Untamed in this Get Caught Up podcast with Writer Wednesdays. These tips are amazing. They are definitely very relevant in not only the author world, but the business world. And please, please follow and listen to this podcast and get your life together with branding, with promoting yourself, marketing, everything. All these Writer Wednesdays tips are the perfect jumpstart into making yourself promotable, making yourself marketable, and making yourself professional. So I'm sending you all love and ink. Have a great day.
And now, here is your host.
Hello, and welcome to the Get Caught Up podcast. I am your host, Untamed, author, producer, podcaster, and the Oprah. Thank you, Julia Press Simmons, for this title. The Oprah of the Literary Podcast. And I am joined tonight by my lovely co-host, the blogger, award-nominated and future author, Miss Crystal Books and Souls, also the Gale.
Yes.
That's yes.
Thank you.
How are you, Crystal?
Check with me in like another 2 weeks. Because, I shared with you guys before, like a while ago, that I had quit my job. So I took a 3-month hiatus, was in here chilling. Me and Untamed talked every day, and now I'm at work. We can't even talk every day. But, now I'm back at work. So, yeah, check with me in 2 weeks. I'll let you know.
Check with you in 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to keep
it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
You yet holding on. I'm going to see if you yet holding on. As the old people say, you yet holding on.
Yeah.
Baby.
Mm-hmm. I might say that job gone up to yonder, or I might be like, oh no, I like it. So we'll see.
Oh my goodness. Well, as always, I have to show love to our sponsors and donors. And so without further ado, to the people who give the kind of money that jiggle and fold. Much love goes out to Kiana Dene, EXO, JC, KB's Bookshelf, Tyler Landscaping, Jones Pressure Washer and Lawn Care, Women of Vision, Me and My Son's Lawn Care, and of course, the Get Caught Up podcast is presented by Untamed Publishing. Allow us to help you to unlock your unlimited writing potential. If you are an aspiring new or even seasoned author and you need help along your literary journey, visit www.untamedpublishing.net for a variety of services to help you along your way, such as synopsis writing, proofreading, copy editing, or developmental editing is available for you. And of course, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit us up here at GCU at Get Caught Up Podcast. If I can get it out, and Get Caught Up Podcast 1@gmail.com. Awesome. So yes, tonight we have a special guest. I'm excited. Because
I got some stuff to talk to her about with this book.
I listened to this book a while ago and immediately hit her up in her DMs about one of the characters. So I have been in love with this character that I shouldn't even be in love with. Really?
I mean, I kind of understand why with that character, and I know we'll tell y'all who that character is, but that other character, that mofo can jump
he
off the bridge onto big boulders that stick him in his body. Maybe actually he can actually jump off a bridge onto those poles, those stakes in the ground, and they stick through him, and then somebody just still come and jump on him until it goes all the way through. That's how much I dislike that
that
character.
other character can go straight to hell. Do not pass. No, do not collect $200. Not jail.
I'm sorry, Nikki Michelle, but he was he was disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
He was disgusting.
Are we
Are
talking
you-
about are we talking about Elliot?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we
Mhm.
are.
Yeah.
But she done hopped in the book. We got.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and intro you. Now, if people who listen to the show, and I always say I need to listen. When I listen to an audible, I need to see the words. When I say that I was driving listening to this book, and I'm like, the whole time, his balls must be the size of a basketball. I don't even know how he walking straight. I don't know. Like, he probably walking like an 8 the way he acted in this book.
He walked like an 8.
Because
Okay, you guys haven't introduced me yet, but I just want to say
I just want to say
I have never had anyone read Elliot for feels that way. Like, my flabber is gasted.
Flabber is gay.
I said, I texted her. I said, "What the? He's disgusting. He is disgusting. I'm disgusted. He is disgusting. I just, whew.
Listen.
Okay.
She has no
I'm trying to
time.
think about what he did in the book.
Everything from the moment he started talking, everything. It just got worse.
He hated him
And
before
worse.
he opened his mouth.
And worse. It didn't get no better. Now, it just did not get no better. And I'm just like,
Dang.
dang, he's still alive.
He's still alive.
He walking straight. He still got his baseballs and his bats. Like,
Elliot needed a good ass woman though. He did.
oh,
He did.
Elliot is he's got some psychological scarring. Let's just say that.
Issues. He got issues.
He seriously
I
does.
just, I ain't even gonna get to you about how I feel about Mona. Moan for me,
Ooh,
Mona.
what a messy
Girl.
Mona. Messy Mona.
Messy moaning
Chris,
Mona.
go ahead and intro Nikki.
Yes.
So
we get to this book. Okay, sorry you guys. I just had to get that off my chest, but I got another get this off my chest. So here we go. Nikki Michelle resides in the metro Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Lexington, Mississippi. Carried by her love of reading, she began writing at the early age of 12 and has been on a journey of trying to pen the perfect novel ever since. She's still working on that. I don't know. I think you knocked it out the box with this Bi-Sensual, like for real. Her love of writing and wanting to create fiction with true to life situations are what inspire her to continue to write stories readers will enjoy with characters they can relate to. You can catch her works in the previously released anthologies If Only for One Night 1 and 2, Full Figured 3, and Girls from the Hood 7. Her full-length works include Tell Me No Secrets and Tell Me No Lies, and All the Things I'm Missing at Home, and the critically acclaimed Bi-Satisfied and Bi-Sensual. Her wildly popular novella, Scandalous, yeah, I read that one too.
Me too.
Woo, yes, is also available on Amazon and Audible. She dabbled in the fantasy genre as she co-authored Promised Land with Essence best-selling author Brenda Hampton. She is also one half of the best-selling writing duo Noelle Vella. Nikki Michelle, welcome to the UP Hot Seat. How are you today?
Well, it depends. Am I going to get the Elliot reception? Or
No,
I have
I mean, let me say this. The book was good. I'm not even gonna lie. The book was good. I
Damn
just
it.
was like, this is one entitled ass nigga.
he really is.
Yeah.
Like, truly.
Yeah.
Ah,
Elliot used everything and everyone around him. My God.
mhm, mhm.
He
And
is. He was. Listen, I'm saying he is like I'm still writing the story, but
I mean, if you gonna bring him up, is he gonna get ran over or something? Like something needs to happen.
so Elliot is actually based on someone I actually know.
I was gonna ask you that. Ooh,
So
ooh.
I don't know. Untamed, you weren't around, I guess, when that one book club got me to. Okay, so I did a book club meeting. It was years ago, and
Okay.
Elliot is based on a real guy.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Honestly, he's my friend and everything. We're friends on Facebook. Um, and I based Elliot on him. Now, in real life, Elliot is the kindest. Elliot is he's a nice guy. He's nowhere near the asshole I made him in the book, but he is a teacher. He does love those children. Um, I posted a picture of him without exposing who he was because he has a little side gig. So I have to go back and find that picture and I'll send it to you too, so you can see
Please,
that.
Please send it to
please do.
me.
No, I just want to put it out there, like, and Elliot does tend to go. Elliot does tend to go back and listen to my previous works. So if he, once he listens to this, I just want him to know. I'm so sorry.
I want
Well,
him to know
Elliot,
I'm
well, I'm glad
sorry.
Elliot, I'm glad you nice in real life because if you wasn't, I would find you and throw rocks at you.
Oh, I had to listen. Okay, so Demi was supposed to be the bad guy, y'all. I literally
She,
saw her where Demi was supposed to be the bad guy, right? Because when he came in, it was very antagonistic with Mona, right? Like he just did
right.
not like
And we
her.
love Demi. We
And
love
y'all ended up loving Demi. Like Demi is everybody loves him, including me.
like Demi
Demi
could do
is
no wrong.
sex on a stick.
Okay. Demi could
Yes.
do no wrong.
And he didn't. Like throughout the novel, technically the only thing he did wrong was what he did to old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know uh
Mm.
see if I want to spoil it. Okay, I'm a spoiler alert. I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to run away. 1, 2. Okay, 5.
That's it.
So,
That's it. Yeah.
She said 125.
so I think the only thing that Demi he's already paid for that is what he did to Nicole, who he calls his shell. So I think that was probably one of the only things that he probably get a side eye for.
Yeah.
But he just did not turn into the bad guy that I wanted him to be.
And I didn't even really side out here with that. I just listen for whatever reason. Demi had my
He
heart this
deserved it.
entire book, and I was just like, anytime anybody did anything to him, I was like, come at their neck, Demi, please. 'Cause
Yeah, my scene with that man in the club, I love that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes, right? Like
Yeah.
because
yeah,
it kind of showed it showed who Demi was at heart because he didn't have to, him and Mona had been going at it, so he didn't have to go.
Yes.
But because he knew Elliot cared so deeply for Mona, he was like, I gotta keep her safe, at least get her back to him. That's the kind of person Demi is at heart. So
yeah.
But you want to know what? I'm gonna say, but did Elliot really care about Mona? I think he only cared about Mona because she looked like Nicole, and he really wanted Nicole.
oh, that's
We gonna get
interesting.
into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna stop. Yeah, we gotta stop because we gotta get to know about you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me be quiet.
But first and foremost, we gotta get some stuff off our chest. I want to get this off our chest first, so we can be done with that.
Yes, yes.
Because, well, listen, I think we look. Y'all don't get privilege to our backstage conversation, so we all have the same rant tonight. So I'm gonna kick it to our guest to let her start it off, and then we can just pick it back off of you. So,
Yes.
what would you like to get off your chest tonight, Miss Nikki Michelle?
Um, I want to do this in a way where it doesn't cause any more harm than what the initial thing has already caused. Indie Black authors, there's something about the way they turn this entire industry around to benefit them. The industry that continuously closed the big five or however many publishing houses there are now, an industry that continuously either closed the door, lowball them, or tried to keep them in a box so they couldn't expand their wings. Like Black indie authors have come in and turned the industry on its head to the point that now publishing houses are running after them. Audio
Mm-hmm.
houses are running after them. And so one of the things I want to vent about is the way we handle one another in this space, in this indie space, from the reviewers to the authors to the looky loos, whatever. The way we handle one another is very important. Words mean things. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even if we're saying something and we feel like, oh, it's no problem, I'm just being honest, sometimes some things don't need to be said in such a way where the author feels attacked, pretty much, because that's what
Yeah.
it came down to. And I don't know the young lady personally, the author, but her book is wildly successful, wildly popular. More readers love it than they hate it. So for her, I want to say I know those words probably stung, but girl, you're doing your thing. And what's meant to tear you down is opening another door you probably wasn't even expecting to open, because I noticed that the book is shooting to the top of the charts again. So
Mm-hmm.
what was
Mhm.
to what was meant to tear her down is actually probably opening more doors for her than she realized at this point. So I just want my vent is to say words mean things, and I want us to be careful
Right.
the way that we handle one another in this space that we created when
Mhm.
nobody created for us. Let's not turn into the very entity that brought us here in the first place.
Yeah, and like you said, words hurt and words matter.
Right.
And if you are going to, and let me be direct in this, because I'm going to speak as a podcaster, but I'm also going to speak as an author, and I also speak as a reviewer. Um, if you're going to be in a space, especially if you are Black yourself,
Mm-hmm.
let's just be straight flat with that part. If you are Black yourself and you're going to be in this space, you don't have an obligation to like everything that you read, but you owe a debt of gratitude to the people, your skin folks,
Mhm.
who look like you, to at least serve your opinion with grace,
Yes.
Yep.
serve your reviews with grace. And I love this is what I love about when reviewers do this, who do rate books a certain way that they didn't like. They can, the ones who come on here and they say, this is my opinion and this is why the book didn't work for me. But I still say recommend it to you because what I did not like about it, you may have liked. Um, and nowadays, I want to add this as a caveat too, from an author's perspective to reviewers. And hey, if I take a hit for this, I'll take a hit. Nowadays, with Google being accessible to all types of information, everybody's an expert on writing. And a lot of you all are not experts on writing. You just hear things so much till you think that you are. and you try to apply that into your reviews with authors.
I'm
And
not even an expert at writing, and I've been in the industry since 2010. I'm not even an
right,
expert.
See?
I've been in the industry since, and I'm an English major, and I've been in it since 2012. But it's like this one thing that I say, and I kind of stand by. What I kind of hits me in the heart a little bit is, when did reading turn away from reading from the enjoyment and reviewing it from whether or not you just enjoyed it, to being a criticism and thesis critique
Because you
over
want to,
every
because
single thing that the author does. That you don't
folks
like
want to be
this.
seen and not heard. They want to be
You,
seen so much.
it's like, you don't like this trope, and you don't you didn't feel a story should have went this way, should have went that way. The beauty about having the author craft a story is that they're crafting it the way that it came to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's not technically sound, grammatically sound, formatted correctly, those are things I feel like you can physically see. We all know that. Say something about that if that's the issue. But basically telling people what words they shouldn't use, what tropes they shouldn't talk about, how the story should go. Oh my God.
I think
I
for
think it
me,
was Toni Morrison who said, if you saw a story if it's a story that you want to read and you haven't read it yet, you write it.
Write it. Yep.
So let the author write their story their way, and then just leave your opinion based on whether or not you liked it, or technical issues. But there's a lot of, and that's kind of where this stemmed from, right? Because what we're talking about is a book reviewer who did almost a 5-part series bashing the author, bashing the book, to the point that it was disrespectful. It was really disrespectful. And it was just like, one thing I would like people to do is put themselves in the author's shoe. Like, if this were your work, because this is a passion for many of us. We put our souls into writing these stories. A lot of these stories sometimes are maybe about us, and you don't even know it, or it may be about someone we know or someone we love, and we open this up, or someone we like, and we open these stories up, and then you get hella disrespectful behind it, to the point that you're bashing the book and you're bashing the author. These people they're human, they have feelings, they're writing the story as it came to them. You know, there's nothing wrong with being uplifting, even if you don't like something. There's nothing wrong with that. Uplift that person, give them some positive things, give them some tips or advice, or something like that. But to go about it the way that it was gone about, it was completely disrespectful. But as you said, Nikki, one thing that I love is that anytime somebody means something for evil, it's
mhm,
gonna always work out for your good.
Yep.
Because so many bloggers and authors jumped to her defense, and jumped over there, was like, you should do this, you cannot do this, this is ridiculous, to the point that, like you said, the book is making another run. Now this book is probably going to skyrocket and get all kinds of sales and reviews,
mhm.
because it stemmed from a place where it was meant to be negative and nasty, but now it was going to be positive and come out very well and pretty for the author. So, if anything, I hope she takes from this is that she's going to end up on the positive side of all of this. And I love the
Well,
fact that,
6,559 people like it. This rating is a 4 point. I think she got let me see what her overall rating is, but 6,000, she got a 4.7 out of 5 with 6,559 reviews. Now, I'm not going to say how, I don't, I can't tell how many are bad, but a 4.7 rating?
yeah, and that's really good. So
Yeah.
that's where I wanted to chime in on that. But Crystal, I know you had some chiming in that you
See,
want.
now y'all gonna have me sitting here looking like I'm crazy because y'all came in and y'all was so nice and all that. But I don't want to be nice. Because I feel like, and I'm gonna say this, I don't really like to be on TikTok because every time I'm on TikTok, it's a mess. Like I feel like it's childish mess. For you, like you said earlier, Untamed, for you to do a 5-part series, like you trying to be Risa Tisa, really? But for you to get out here and try to do a 5-part series bashing this book is ridiculous. And then for you to go boo. How do you feel if people jump in your DMs every time you post a video and be like, boo? You know what I'm saying? And, I told Untamed, I said, we DNF in books. Can we DNF bloggers? Do not follow? Because that's how I feel like sometimes. When I see stuff, yes, I do unfollow them. And I feel like to me that's that petty, childish stuff. But then I just don't want them popping up on my timeline, on my For You page with the mess that they do. But I just, like I said, I try to stay out of it. But to me, it just she it to me, I like you said, it was blatantly disrespectful. You didn't have to do all that. And then, but what kills me too is the people in her comments agreeing with her. Like she had a whole peanut gallery with her, a whole bunch of little peanuts.
That's always the
Just
case.
right, and just hyping her up more. But then you want to know what the thing is? This is how I feel like it's all about going viral, the clicks, because you took the video down. If you were so adamant about this, you would have left the video up. So just like you stood on business to put that video out, you should have stood on business and left it up there too.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. I don't even follow her, so I ain't gotta worry about it. Don't make no sense.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but I hope that everyone involved takes this and learns a valuable lesson from it.
Good luck on that.
I hope they do, because also this took place during Black History Month.
Now that's something else that kind of pissed me off that she said, I shouldn't do this because it is Black History Month, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's look. I think the world.
I took my glasses off so I can't see no more foolishness.
Look, I think the world be a better place if we learn how to extend grace to people. So that was our get it off your chest moment. We shut that off.
Yeah. Y'all calm me down because I'm glad y'all two went first. Because if I would have went after Nikki, it probably would have been like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So I had time to calm down because I was heated. I was up till 1 o'clock looking at that stuff, knowing I got to get up at 6 o'clock to get ready for work.
We took the sting out of it for you, so
Thank you for that.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and so I'm just glad that I feel like the author is coming out on the positive side of it, and she sees all of the backlash that's happening. So she not that she's gonna revel in the fact that they got backlash, but just she can at least revel in the fact that the community got her back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
We got her back, and so one person's opinion and perspective is not the sum total, and it's not going to wreck her reign. So hopefully she pulls that away from it. But Miss Nikki, I always have to ask a few questions about the author first. So this is your first time on our show, so we're going to ask a couple questions just so the listeners can get to know you as an author. So I guess since we haven't had you on the show, this is one sometimes we kind of get it redundantly, but since this is your first appearance here, I'll ask you then, just like what you said you've been here since 2010, what made you decide to become a published author?
Yes.
So I've always loved to read. And I would hide books in my room, to read, just kind of escaping the very traumatizing reality that was my life as a child. And so eventually that love of reading turned into writing. And I always had this dream I'm going to be a published author. I wanted to be, like, because at the time I was reading books like Little House on the Prairie, Babysitter's Club, R.L. Stein, Christopher Pike, Sweet Valley High,
Mhm.
and then I was at one of my older cousins' houses, and they had, I don't know if you guys remember, and I'm probably totally aging myself. I'm 40, by the way. But I had older
Oh,
female
we older.
Okay, so I had older female cousins, right? And do you guys
Mhm.
remember he had a publishing house, Arabesque?
Yes.
Yep.
So I ran across this book that had this is a cover of a black man and a black woman, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this?"
Mhm.
I should not have been reading that. Although Arabesque was on the Arabesque was Hallmark, I guess, before Hallmark was Hallmark, but with a little soul.
It was.
So I should not have been reading that. I wasn't even 12 yet, you guys. I wasn't even
Woo.
12. And
Well, I mean, now that explains this book that we're gonna talk about. That explains it all. That explains it all.
That
It does.
arabesque later on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it just turned into like, and the way I got my publishing deal was kind of like, it kind of, you know how they say your dreams are not just going to fall in your lap, but mine kind of did, because I was a huge fan of Brenda Hampton. She did the Naughty series with Jalen Jerome Rogers. He was the original bad boy, like I say, he's one of the original bad boys in the romance community, because but I was a huge fan of the Naughty series, and Brenda Hampton was an agent at the time, and because I was a huge fan of Jalen, she presented some of his fans with an opportunity to, if only from one night, was an anthology that some of her fans, her readers, put together with her character Jalen. And so I got accepted to get into that anthology, and she was just like, well, no, before that happened, hold on, let me stop. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my friend Michelle. May she rest in peace, because I was so nervous to send Brenda Hampton my work at the time. And we were up late one night. It was like 3 a.m. And Michelle was like, if you don't send that, she was on me in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it. And Brenda reached back out to me almost immediately. Like, it was like the next day. She was like, I've been reading, here's my information. Let's chat. And boom, like,
oh wow.
and she was like, we're going to start you off. You're going to be in the anthology with me. My very first novella in the publishing world was in the anthology with a best-selling author. So things to place with me. A lot of her readers, once they finished her story, they automatically read my story, and I just picked up, steam that way. And I always knew I wanted to be an author. I've always considered myself more the Angela Lansbury type, believe it or not. I wanted to write little cozy murder mysteries.
I can't tell.
I know somebody was gonna say.
Listen,
I cannot tell.
I can see murder mystery, but I don't know about cozy.
It's cozy, all right. It's cozy. It is cozy.
Yeah.
But
it's sensual.
it's sensually cozy. It's sensually cozy. Yeah.
So I went all the way around the world to answer your question, but that's basically it.
No, I like the story. I love that, because then you just gave us a little bit more of yourself. That is kind of good. That's definitely good. That's good.
Yes. So that's a great segue, and also I love it because this is probably the most different story that we've heard as far as how someone got into and all of that. So hey, y'all never know what opportunity come from. That's my good takeaway from that, is that
Also a good takeaway is always be kind to people, because you never know how close your blessing is standing to you. You never know how opportunity might not even knock. It might walk and stand next to you and tap you on your shoulder. So
come on. You know what? I'm not gonna go backwards. Well, I will say this, because you said something, and I didn't want to. At first I kind of pulled back from it, but even going back to what we were just talking about, there are a lot of companies who watch these popular bloggers
Mhm.
who give them a chance to catapult their platform. And you have to be mindful what you do and what you say, because you never know who have eyes on you.
Mhm.
And you could have had an opportunity that was there and
Yep,
probably
and
walked
walked
out
away.
the door because people don't like to associate their stuff with messiness.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they don't like to associate their stuff with controversy. So I say that to say, hey, be mindful of what you do. I always tell people, I see, look, this is probably one of the few times I ever talked about that, but it was just so impactful that I have a choice but to talk about it. Because I tell Chris all the time, I said, I don't see nothing that be going on. I promise you. I'll be so focused and
I be
spinning on my
trying not to
bubble
see it.
that I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
like, I don't know it till somebody else tell me.
Right.
But this happened
That
to
was
me.
me.
This was so potent that this is one of the few times I saw it for myself because of how viral this situation went, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, anywho, moving on. I will say this so that we go to a quick break and come back so we can get into this book because we died to talk about it. We started out talking about this book. We was chomping at the bit. But
Mm-hmm. Yep, that part.
that was a perfect segue to ask you, what's one lesson that you've learned since becoming a published author?
There's no one way or a right or wrong way to tell a story.
Hmm.
There can be several stories similar to yours in trope, maybe even in idea, but it's the way that you tell the story that's going to attract the reader. That's my biggest. That's one of my biggest lessons. The way you tell the story is what matters.
Yeah.
So if you're a writer, you're thinking about becoming a writer, and you're like, dang, somebody else already wrote about a divorced single mother of 12 trying to find love.
I hope the kid's
That's
grown.
right.
Good gosh, 12.
She needs
Nah,
to be
baby,
on
just
a
pass
TV
me
show to
by.
find love.
Oh my gosh, Crystal's face said immediately no. Like,
Hell no, cuz
That's a
I
TV
can't do
show.
it.
That's a TV
Woo.
show right there.
That's like the Brady Bunch times two.
oh
It's
my
to
god.
everybody.
Finding love at 12. That's all like a lifestyle.
Mm, 12.
Kids and counting.
Right. I mean,
12
I
kids and
thought you
counting.
said two, but 12? I don't know. I don't know, sis. You might need to go make that work. You might need to go make
What I'm
that work.
saying, no, write the story. Like, just tell the story.
Right. Ugh. I mean, is our youngest child like 21? Something. Cause
Maybe she
That
had
girl
like several sets of
forever be at Chuck E.
twins and
Cheese.
triplets.
yes.
We
Oh
got a
my
man at Chuck E.
gosh.
Cheese this weekend, y'all.
Mm.
Oh
Nope.
my, oh my goodness. Well, you guys, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to read the synopsis of Bi-Sensual, which we have been talking about. And then we're going to get into these questions. We're going to dive right on in. So we will be right back in just one
Mm.
moment.
I'm the only one who can love you like no other love under the sun. And plus I bust my gun for you. Even on the run, you're the only one I'm thinking of. My only love, my one and only love. I'm the only one who can love you like no other love under the sun. And plus I bust my gun for you. Even on the run, you're the only one I'm thinking of. My only love, my one and whatever only happened love. To
Hey Untameables, it's Kiana Dene, poet and author. Just wanted to stop by and ask, have any of you read any of my poetry lately? If not, you can pick up my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere else you get your books, and of course my website at kianadene.wordpress.com. Now back to the show.
Hello, 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 and we are back. Welcome back. And as you all are aware, we are on with our guest, Miss Nikki Michelle. And when we went to the break, you heard the smooth tunes and sounds of artist Joel Taylor featuring Smiz the Money Kid. As I have stated and Crystal has stated a few times, we are trying to embrace all areas of the art. So if you are a musician and you would like your song played during one of our interviews, please submit a 20-second clip to us at getcaughtuppodcast1@gmail.com. Well, Miss Nikki.
Even if you playing the flute like Andre 3000.
right.
I liked it.
Listen,
I did too. I did too.
I liked it too. I wish he would have pre-warned us because we thought we finna hit some hot fire. He had spit some hot fire. He spit some hot flute. So I'm like, Andre, okay, we gonna accept this, sir, because it was actually a
Oh,
vibe. It really was a
it
vibe.
was. All I can say is he probably can stay downstairs a long time.
This to be a mess. This to be a mess. Do you hear me? Oh my gosh.
A
But
long time. He did a whole a whole album blowing the flute. Yeah, I bet you I wasn't the only one that thought. I probably was just the only one who said it.
you was. Look, you was the only
Hmm.
one who said it out loud, but that's all we gonna agree.
That part, yes. Hmm.
But listen, I'm gonna read this synopsis so we can get into this story because I'm ready to just talk about. Okay, I can't talk about Nimi the whole time, but I just want to talk about him anyway.
Yes.
Best-selling author Simona de la Cruz has found herself on the wrong side of love. Yes, Lord. Even though she knows that loving Elliot Lewis Jacques is wrong, she has no desire to be right, and neither does his ass. There's just one problem. Elliot is in a long-term relationship with Dimitri Alexander. As an openly bisexual man, Elliot has no problem with having his cake and eating it too. When he tells Mona and Dimitri that he wants both of them at the same time, all hell breaks loose. And then, just when you think you have it all figured out, Elliot's ex steps into the picture and throws a monkey wrench that Mona never saw coming. Sparks fly, attitudes clash, secrets are revealed, and sensuality knows no bounds in Nikki Michelle's new novel, Bi-Sensual.
Mm.
Yes, Lord. I have no reason loving Dimitri Alexander the way that I do.
Loving you.
I mean, I understood why. Like, I definitely understood why. And it was like he was like the silent, brooding type. And, them the type of men a lot of women love. Like, you're
Yes.
gorgeous,
And he was gorgeous.
you packing.
He was gorgeous packing. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. If there's one thing that I can say about Elliot is that hell, I was jealous. One of them, I'm like, damn it, I want him too. Elliot.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted Elliot but them two. But
Listen,
just them two.
nobody should have wanted Elliot. Them two didn't even need to want Elliot. Okay.
They didn't. They didn't.
But I will ask you this. Where did the idea come from for this book?
Okay, so before I wrote Bi-Sensual, I wrote Bi-Satisfied, and Bi-Satisfied was my first foray into the erotica genre. I was used to writing like the messy contemporary, sometimes romance, chick lit, but with Black people. So Bi-Satisfied was my very first foray into erotica. And listen,
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys have read that book, but that book took me and my readers down through there. It took me so far through there.
I went and got it. I went and got it.
Listen, it took me so far down through there that when I read it now, I got like one eye closed, like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Yeah. So then after writing that, because that's a full novel, I leave it up to, like, I think there may be one thing that readers may want to know, but for the most part, That's the story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then these other set of characters started talking to me, and around that time, after Bi-Satisfied came out, more and more bisexual black men were reading my work, and they were finding me on Facebook, and I was having conversations with them and everything. Um, they were telling me how they really enjoyed the erotica, like Bi-Satisfied, and seeing like openly bisexual black men, and a black woman together. And I just happened to meet one of those men who would become Elliot. He
Mm.
and I became really good friends. Like it was almost as if we'd known each other for like our whole lives. And we started talking and everything. And I was like, I'm starting to get an idea here. So I went to him and I said, so, for my first book, Bi-Satisfied, because he read that one, David from Bi-Satisfied is an actual person as well. He's also a friend of mine on my Facebook page. And I've known David for almost 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
So when I went to the Elliot and I told him, hey, so I think I want to write about you, but do it the Nikki Michelle way. And he was almost immediately, he was like, ask me whatever you want. You ain't gotta tell me twice.
Mm.
They gotta tell me twice. So
Right.
we went back and forth. I mean, it was like days. Like we went back and forth, me asking questions, and I'm like, how personal can I get? He said, I said, ask me whatever you want.
You
You
want.
gotta tell me twice. So I did, and he revealed who his lover was at the time. So we talked about some things that had happened between them, and so the story began. And that's
Mm.
it, Bi-Sensual with Elliot, Simona, and Demi.
And right.
My cousin used to have this word that he used to call all of us, the kids, when we were growing up and when we got on his nerves or we didn't listen and we didn't do nothing right. He used to call us super stupid. And that's how I feel about Mona. She's super stupid.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Mona was,
Super stupid.
I mean, I was like, girl. Like, how many more signs do you need to get the hell out of Dodge? Like, leave it alone, girl.
Maybe she was Risa Tisa.
And the
Yeah,
crazy,
Risa Tisa.
the crazy thing is, like, these are three people who all
Mm-hmm.
got some kind of damage, right? Like,
Right.
and Simona really loves Elliot, and she knows it's toxic. She doesn't care,
She don't care.
like she's accepting him, flaws and all, like even to her own detriment. Because when Nicole walked into their hotel room,
That part.
Ain't no way. You up Aretha Franklin song? Ain't no way.
Listen.
like, yeah, imagine like thinking you're like you mean something to somebody, and then your doppelganger walks in, who happens to be his ex, and now like you're questioning everything.
And
You
why
should have
was
been
she
questioning
so
it when
special?
Demi was telling you that. Demi was telling you that.
He kept trying. Why was Nicole so special though? Why was she so
Yeah,
Well, for Demi or for Elliot?
for Elliot.
For Elliot, he was genuinely in love with her. Like he loved that woman. Like,
Do
and
you
because,
even know what that word means?
well, okay, so like Demi explained in the book, everybody has a
Mm-hmm.
different definition of love. So
Right, right.
what my definition may be, you might look at me like I'm crazy, like, girl, what? But
But no, you're right. Everybody's different.
that's my definition of love. So for Elliot, he was in love with Nicole, although he didn't reveal that he was bisexual to her. He was
Right.
genuinely in love with, especially her being a preacher's kid and her just being just like she's having sex with him in the parking lot of her father's church. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
he was, that was his love
Yes.
until Demi walked across that pier.
But listen, Demi can convince me to do anything too.
And like, it wasn't like Elliot wasn't already like bisexual, but he had never done what we consider like the down low, like where secretly having a relationship with a woman.
Right. He was out in the open with it.
Well, he wasn't open with Nicole, but he just wasn't having sex with men while he was in the relationship with her. So
Right.
he didn't
Well,
tell, he never
oh,
told
wait
her.
a minute. Yeah, because I'm about to say, it wasn't at the part when they was in the restaurant at dinner one time and he met the guy in the bathroom. They didn't have sex. They just met each other in the bathroom.
He met Demi in
And
the
she was
bathroom. Didn't have
okay.
Elliot didn't have sex with him then. Like, but Demi was stalking Nicole, and because Nicole had abandoned Demi, he was like, okay, because Demi is a bisexual man. He knows a trade, a download, or whatever we want to call him. He knows,
Right.
He
he knows his
it.
people. And so he was like, okay, bet. And so once he realized, like once him and Elliot made eye contact, he was like, his mission was to hurt Nicole. Nicole had hurt him.
So my thing is this. My question is, well, my first question was, what the hell was wrong with Elliot? Like, what was wrong with him?
As far as what, like his anger or just like his need to be in control? What?
Yeah, that, his anger, and then just if you got two people that you care about, if you care about them so much, you were so forceful for them to be together with you. Like it was just like he didn't take accountability for anything he did in any of the situations. I just think he was an entitled prick.
It's like Elliot grew up. There's a scene where he talks about him loving two broken people, but Elliot often talked about how he came from a 2-parent home. You know, he's
right.
Yeah, yep. Upbringing, and I think that entitlement comes from that being in control comes because he grew like his life was so controlled to the point like he didn't suffer any abuse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you see, like he wasn't perfect either, even though he came from a 2-parent home. Like, what sane person like breaks somebody's arm like deliberately in the middle of the street, not like a kick to the arm, but literally, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, he has his entitlement comes from growing up privileged, I guess.
Oh my
I was about to say something so wrong. I'm glad. I sure was, and then I said, no, Crystal, you can't say that. I had like a 2-second conversation in my head with myself real quick.
So, Crystal, you touched on this. So I'll go ahead and ask the question on it. Why was Elliot so persistent about Demi and Mona meeting each other? Like
he wanted his threesome. Like he wanted to have both of them at the same time. Like there was no other, you know, they don't even like each other. They made it clear. Like they never met. It's clear, but he's just like, I want what I want. And y'all gonna do it. Y'all gonna like it. Like there was no in between. Like he wanted what he wanted, and he knew that they were going to give it to him. Like so, like even with them, no, he was just like, yeah, well, like we like all three of us know that this is going to happen, right? Like so, and that's just his arrogance. He's just that arrogant.
That was that part. That's why I say he used and abused everybody because he knew that both of them had these feelings for him of love. Like they really they wanted to make him happy and he wanted to make himself happy. And
right, that's how I felt.
That they wanted to make him happy. He took advantage of that. And that's why I was like, that's why I couldn't stand Elliot, right? Yeah.
Like he knew no other ways. It's like he knew no other ways to show his love other than control. Because even down to Mona and her braids, the bracelet, the way she dressed at her book signing, you know. Although he did give her some good pointers about the book signing, like don't alienate your lesbian audience. Hello, like he gave her good, you know, critique. But Elliot's like, it's like the only way he knows how to show love is by controlling the situation. Whereas Demi shows love, he goes to the extreme because who goes and finds a woman who looks like the man you love lost because of you. Yes, I know that's a lot. That's it, but that's what happened. Like, so I mean, And where Mona, since she never received, her father was never there. Her mother kept her in some very traumatic situations with the men she chose. So
Right.
Mona, the only way she knows how to receive love is by control. Elliot telling her, how to dress. Elliot saying, you're going to do this. I want you to wear your hair that way. That's the only way she knows how to receive love, because that's all her mother has ever given her. And that's it. So you got 3 different people, 3 different types of love for various different reasons.
It was a mess. It was like I felt like I was watching a soap opera, like really, because I'm like, is he going to change some? Like, Elliot, come on, man, like just a little bit, like some. And
I think the moment that readers may have connected a little more with Elliot is when his son came into the equation.
Yeah,
I think
no, I didn't. I still didn't. But I really didn't like him. And I felt sorry. I'm like, okay, now this little boy got to be raised by this crazy man. But thank goodness for Dimitri, because one thing I loved about Demi, he called him out on his stuff.
Yes, he did.
He did.
He called him out on his stuff, and I love that he did that. Now, I'm glad that you gave Mona somebody to love her, and hopefully she really reciprocated and she do it, because I know.
Not if Demi has anything to do with it.
Well, Lord Jesus. Now, to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie. This gonna be a 2-parter. I didn't like Elliot so much. Yes, the sex between her and Elliot was hot, but it did nothing for me. But her and Demi,
yeah,
my box tingled because it wanted to mingle.
That was so intentional, because
I wanted to be in the middle.
That was very intentional. Yeah. Because
I wanted to be in the middle.
Like you said, Demi is brooding. He's that emo, that dark brooding.
Yes.
Bully. He's almost a bully. Not like Elliot. Not like Elliot.
When you screw her the first time, then you come back to the hotel because Elliot tell you to, and then you go take a shower. And you come out the shower in some basketball shorts and showing all your glory. But then you read her for filth when you told her that I'm home. You just a rest stop. I said, this nigga right here.
Listen,
it would have been a rest stop
with nobody. Do you hear me?
He did not.
He stood on business, and I appreciate that about him. He stood on business.
Yes,
and he did. On business and still screwed the hell out of the girl.
Yep. Tell me something. You want to F, don't you? No, I don't. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You've been wanting to since you kissed him the first time, honey. Stop playing these games.
She can lie if she wants to. Yes, okay. I did.
Yes, listen. It's good when you got to ask a man, is that all of it? And he's like, no.
No. There's way more, honey. So would you write more about them? Because when you just said if Demi let her, well, was that like a little drop of something?
Demi has been ever since I wrote the end to Bi-Sensual, Demi in my head has been upset about it because Demi really feels like he should have had more time with Mona. I thought you was gonna put them together. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, I would have loved for them two to be together because they
leave Elliot in the wind and go be together.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would have been.
Give him the 2 double middle fingers and put him on a stake and say we out. And skip away, skip to Malou, my darlings.
But what about old boy at the end with Mona? He asked her if I asked you, what he say? If I asked you to take this off, would you? And
are you? Yeah.
No, she said if you asked me to.
Mm-hmm. So Demi said, "Go. This you make it a novella. I'm famous for asking. I'm asking. I'm probably asking for a lot of people, but make it a novella." Well, put it on
novella. It is. It's not even a full story. It's just it's something there that I can't let it go. Like that magnetism is there, and yeah, I want to do a story with Demi and Mona, and it's gonna be messy because the old boy with the locks, he's really in love with Mona at this point, but Demi and Elliot are having a bit of problems in their marriage. Elliot is so focused on being a father that he's not really caring about being a husband. So Demi's about to take him a little road trip so they can catch a break because he don't want to come between Elliot and him being a father. So he's heading up the New York way. Like he's saying, I'm going to visit Nicole. We all know Nicole's, she's passed away. She's dead. But he is going to visit her. But Mona lives in New York. So
let me ask you this. Why did Nicole show up after all these years?
Okay, so she's been feeling very, very guilty about keeping Jock away from his father. Like Jock is a Mensa and he's not letting up with the questions. And
right.
That guilt was eating at her so bad because Jock is a good kid, like for all intents and purposes, she never gave Elliot a chance to be a father.
Right.
So
now that is the only thing that I did feel sorry for him about was that he didn't get that opportunity, to
I didn't.
And so
I didn't.
I was like, but I was
have to make it up to
I was like, damn, do we really need to be in this child life the way he is?
One thing I can say, y'all don't have to worry about is Elliot is a damn good dad. Like that part is in the. And
I would believe he will be an excellent father. He's not an excellent person. I feel like he was what was Pinocchio's daddy name?
Oh, Geppetto.
Geppetto.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Geppetto. He was Geppetto, and he had super and stupid on his hands.
Super and stupid.
And for them,
super and stupid.
I don't know if you guys caught on to like when Nicole and Demi were having that little spat in the hotel room, and Demi learned how to suck. Then maybe I wouldn't have been able to persuade Elliot. And then Nicole hits very, very below the belt, and she asks, "Oh, do I suck better than your father?" And I insinuated something there. So
that's another thing I wasn't a fan of, and that was Elliot. Because they did throw things from their past at each other, and I'm like, it came from Elliot. And for you to sit here and tell the business when they don't like each other, that it was just it was so many little things.
This is Nicole, not Mona. Remember, Nicole knew Demi before Elliot even.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
So Nicole knew things about Demi, especially after she left him the first time, and the drugs and the alcohol and the getting in trouble. Finding out that an escort, and all that. Like he revealed everything in hopes that she would still love him. Like he figured, if I come on, and the first time Nicole was like, no, I mean, I guess that would be a shock.
I didn't see that coming because and I don't use that 4-letter word that begin with an H and end with an E. I was like, I did not see that coming with them two at all, with Demi and Nicole at all.
I wrote it that way, and like I left little breadcrumbs, but that you don't pick up that they're breadcrumbs until you find out.
Because I just think he disliked her because of Elliot. Yeah, that's what I thought. So what was she walking around on? Because I meant, like, she got dudes falling over her like that. She had that PK. She had that PK Punani. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and Nicole, literally, she's one of those. Have you ever met those women that just like men fawn over them even when they don't want to, because they just have this thing about them that just makes men want to go all beat their chest, like. And so Nicole really knows how to love her man. Like she loves him to the point where when she's gone, you're gonna feel it. So that kind of love, and Dimitri growing up and having his mother murdered like that, growing up in that environment, like Nicole was like a breath of fresh air for him. Like she was everything, like everything to him. When
she was a little. I'm not gonna say she was messy.
She was.
I feel like she just knew what she can get away with. Like I don't think she's worse than that Elliot. Elliot.
Well, that's debatable.
Did you notice how much softer Elliot was when Nicole during his flashbacks? It was Nicole was controlling him.
Yeah. I did notice that. Like she, like when Demi was saying, yeah, when they was telling Mona the story, it was like, and he said that she was like, well, she was gonna bring the child, and then she didn't bring the child, and you like, so yeah, I saw it, but like I said, it didn't dawn on me. Like I feel like you was dropping the breadcrumbs, but I was so irritated with Elliot. I was missing them because I usually see stuff like that, but I was missing them. But I just was like, girl, Mona, get it together. Like, if you're beautiful, what, like, and I'm not going to sit here and say, if you're beautiful, we know she's beautiful. I mean, because Elliot said it, Demi just didn't like her. But then when he said, well, you are prettier in person, I was like, he don't care what he say out his mouth to her.
No, he doesn't. Like Demi, he pulled no punches. Like
He does not.
no.
He
Like
does pull
he was my.
punches.
I don't, and I still don't understand how he became such a character because I went in. He was the bad guy, and it just did not. The story just did not flow that way. Demi is one of my favorite male characters that I ever written. He's in the top 2, and he might not
It's
be.
like on the other one.
He top 2 and he ain't number 2.
No, you know who's the other one? Y'all haven't met him yet. The other one is Dr. West, and that's in Almost Doesn't Count, and that was released.
Oh no, we started that. We started that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we like because.
And I do want to give
Wait,
wait.
When you say y'all started, I'm trying to see if I sent y'all the updated file. I'm so scared y'all don't have the update. Can I send y'all a whole new file?
Yeah,
if you want to, but no, I started it, and that's my bed. That's my bed night. That's my bedtime story.
Yes.
Or you know what? If you have KU, I got it on. I put it on KU too. So if you want to go,
Okay, since it's updated, I'll get it off of there then.
So the other one is Dr. West. So it's Demi, and then there's Dr. West, and Demi. He's in the top 2, and he might not be the 2, but it's hard. It's hard.
Top 2, he ain't the 2. I love this.
No, because Untamed said it. She was like, "You're going to love Demi. You're going to love Demi," and I ain't like that. I said, "This man got me tingling with his little mean ass." Like I wanted to be in the middle. Like, okay, let me ask you this: who is there? Like, a star, like a famous movie star that you feel that can be Demi?
Not a famous movie star, but I got 2 male models that I'm gonna show you guys who when I like either one of them could be Demi.
You showed me one.
I did. And there's another one.
I need to see them.
And there's another one. He's just when y'all see him and y'all know that Demi was the construction worker. When y'all see the other one, y'all be like, oh, okay, yeah. And I mean, he's just rugged, and he's got the thick lips and the
But this is how I was like. This was when she said this when he came to the hotel after work, and then he was like, Elliot told me to cut. When she said how he smelled after him being outside, just imagine you've been outside in the heat all day because it be hot.
It does
in Atlanta, and you outside in the heat all day, and you come in and she still think you smell good.
It could be just me, but there's something just about, and I grew up in the country, y'all. Like I'm a country girl, so I'm used to smelling men at their absolute manliest.
Right? Yes.
But it's just something about like a man who knows how to put his soaps and oils and lotions together. So even if because like you said, in Atlanta, our sweat be sweating. So
what. You ain't never lied.
A man who knows how to put that together so that when he does sweat, and that body odor mixes with the ozone and everything, it's still not offensive. So just like imagine that big tall sucker brooding, just and mean, he ain't even mean mugging you. Like he looks unimpressed. Like Demi don't even mean. He just
that's why I say it was just that he was just like a brooding, gorgeous man, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. You did that. You did that.
But I think because Elliot, I mean not Elliot, but Dimitri, like even though he was all of these things, he was so straightforward and straight up.
Yeah.
He was what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna sugarcoat, he's not gonna filter. This is how he is, this is who he is, this is how he feels, and he gonna tell you. And I think that was pretty much it. Like he didn't play games, he was just like, No, if he felt a certain way, he would tell you straight up.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't hold back from that. And I
And he was
that
also funny with his insults, like
was
He
like
really was.
it's very funny. Like when they lost the condom in the hotel room, and he was
yeah.
like, "What you mean? Like, did you feel it come off? Like, why are you asking me that stupid?"
I mean, you don't feel it come off.
He was so annoying. Like, girl, why you asking? Did you feel it?
Yeah, and it was just so many little things about him. But the one thing I felt like he was more so what what Mona needed than
Think
Elliot.
so?
I feel like he was more of what she needed. I think he was perfect for her. And that's why I was like, oh, I hope she put them together. And then at the end, when I saw her with Devin, I was like, how about who this man? I mean, I know we met him, but how about who this man?
You remember he was at the first book signing.
Yeah, that's why I said I knew who he was, but I'm like, why is she with him? I'm like I said, I'm glad that you did not put her with Elliot. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad about that. But he I was not a fan of his at all. I could not become a fan of his.
And you know what's crazy, y'all? Y'all are finna think I'm absolute. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, but
No, you're not.
up until the readers told me they didn't like Elliot, I didn't know anybody didn't like Elliot. Like I was completely clueless. Like, and I wrote
Well,
him.
Elliot was too, so now we know why.
I wrote him that way, but I just did not expect. Like I had one reader reach out to me, and she was like, "I can't do it," and I was like, "She was like, I love
Yeah,
you, Nikki Michelle, but I can't do it. I cannot stand Elliot. I cannot finish."
yeah.
I was like, I was completely clueless. That was my first time hearing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did he do? And I'm like, explain what he did. And she was like, he's controlling, he's manipulative, and she was going down. And I was like, oh well, that's fair, because
Very manipulative. He was the biggest. I thought my son was a manipulator. Oh, he got my baby beat.
Listen, now that you were able to compare Elliot to your
Yeah,
child,
I'm comparing. Yeah, because Elliot. Yeah, my son. He'll get you real good. He'll call you for one thing, and then it'll be a whole nother thing. Like that's yeah, eyes. Yeah, but Elliot. Mm-mm. And then you're gonna get mad, like you wanted them to sleep together, and then they started liking each other. Like he was upset that they were sitting next to each other when they went out to eat, and Demi was eating off her plate, and she was okay with it.
yes,
Like, come on, dude, you want them
he
to
is
you
crazy. He's
he
very
wanted them to
jealous.
meet and then got
Yeah.
jealous. How, like,
Yeah,
right?
what that look
he
like?
made the rule. He made the rule that they weren't supposed to do the do without him, without him being around.
Too
But
late,
Too late.
too late.
Well,
Demi,
I
listen,
was like,
that's what he get. You should have stopped trying to put them together in the first place with you. Like,
yep.
that's a risk you take. They might get together and like each other more than they like you. You wanted
that's
So we talked about this Demi book coming out.
it'll be a
'Cause,
novella, but it's not like I don't even have like a full story. I got like a
I
novella.
mean, what you just said was enough. Like for real, as long as she happy with him. Cause is she really happy with Devin?
She's content with Devin. She's
See,
not.
see, and that's the thing. You shouldn't be content. You should be with a
And
man
Devin is
that's
you.
gonna get you together, sex you down, and love you, girl,
like Demi.
like
You
Demi.
know what's
Hmm.
crazy? Like Devin is a good guy. The sex isn't bad. It's just she's content. Like that spark.
Ain't
Isn't
there?
And what's going to surprise her is she thinks that spark is because of Elliot. But when she opens that door and Demi is standing there,
So you had already started writing this?
mhm, it's like a whirlwind of emotions. It's like she literally falls backward, like because the last person in the world she expects after 4 or so years is Demi. And
Oh, it's been that long?
yeah, I wanted it to be some time.
yeah.
Um,
So it's real.
Hmm.
Because if I would have had him go like soon after, it would have been like, oh, it's just left over from what they had with, Elliot. Well, I want you to know that it's real. And like Demi, he's only going there for like his intention. He's only there for one thing. He's like, she's like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, and he's like, your man here? And she's like, he's not here. Because I saw your bike down. Like, I didn't know it was you, but your bike has been sitting there. So, he's gone. And he just walks in the house and shuts the door. And she's like, Demi, you can't be here. That man just went to pick up some food. He coming back. And Demi was like, how long does it normally take? And so with Demi, it's just like, so how long does it take him to normally get food? And she's like 30 minutes or so. And he's like, I only need 10.
So go ahead and let me give you 10 of these inches. Yeah.
And he only needs 10. Like he's like, I haven't seen you. Like they'll comment on pictures on Instagram, or she'll leave a emoji, or he'll leave an emoji. Of course, Elliot's watching. Like,
so the little flirting that her and Elliot used to do.
Like Elliot is petty, right? Elliot would see them make a comment and he'll like it or love, and he's like, I see you, like, so he's just kind of petty like that. And Demi is just like Demi,
don't be a father and mind your business.
Now Demi is petty too. Remember that. So
yeah, but I like Demi. I don't like Elliot. So go tell go be a father. And mind your business.
I feel like I got to put this book out so I can redeem myself, because she does not give Elliot any room to breathe.
None whatsoever. None. He still ain't gonna get it.
So, do you have a tentative release date?
You know what? I'm one of those authors who I hate giving a release date, right? Because I'll write a book and I'll have it finished, but if it's not to my liking, I won't release it and I'll start rewriting.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
It was with Almost Doesn't Count, the new book. That book had about 7 to 10 rewrites. I ain't going to tell y'all no lie. My soul would not let me go until that book, it had to be, when I read it, my soul had to feel it. And until my soul felt it, I wasn't releasing it.
So, you know what? I'm going to just share this with you. Thank you for that, because, and I think I've said that to you before, that I feel like if I don't like it, I can't put nothing out. So I thank you for that. Yeah, I really do.
Because I'm a Capricorn, y'all, because y'all know how Capricorns are.
That's right. And I think more authors actually need to do, take heed of that part too. Don't be in such a rush to get it out there, even when you find the strongest that it could be. Like, I mean, if it's something in your spirit that is strong, then go with it. Because we're our worst critic, right?
Right.
Put out our best. We go like, oh, I could have did this. I should have did this. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you should put it out if you don't 100% have to do it.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
You definitely need to be at peace with it for yourself, because that.
I just want y'all to know that it'll be under 100 pages, so y'all ain't got to wait long. I just got to make sure that I got to make sure.
I'm waiting, because you're gonna give it to us. I don't care when you can drop it. It's
there. Whenever it's there, I'm there.
I'm about to say I'm there, and we're gonna have a discussion about it. Like I told her the time, I said we should start a book club, but we our own book club. Oh, it's this. I saw a video. Yeah, I saw a video on IG, and it was a group of ladies. They a book club, and I think they're up here in this area. So I ended up following the lady. So I was telling my daughter, I said I'm gonna slide in her DM and see if I can join her book club. She was like, please do. Yes. All you talk about is books.
Oh, she's sick of you.
Yeah, she's sick of me. Mm-hmm. Like I went to go pick her up, and she's like, why don't you have the radio on? I said, because I'm listening to a book. I'm sick of it.
Oh my God, that sounds like my kids, y'all. When they get in the car, like, oh, please. I'll be like, but to listen to my audio book. Like they have headphones and earbuds, y'all. Like, so
she be telling me.
I tell you, I have my audio book on my phone in the car, because half the time my kids can't hear what I'm no way.
Yep.
But oh my goodness. So really quick, I want to give you a few minutes just to tell us briefly what your newest release is about, so we can have the listeners know about that. Then tell us how the can connect with you and where they can.
Okay, so almost doesn't count the Professor and Miss Jones. I started this story in 2005. I had never, this was my first story. I went to the thrift store, bought me a little raggedy computer, like back, I just needed to get this story out. So I started it in 2005. It was during the time Hurricane Katrina was going on. And I was so depressed by the news, y'all, like seeing our people on the roofs.
Yeah.
And, like, y'all, I was like, I need to write me something. Like, I need to write my way out of this because I couldn't. And so I started Almost Doesn't Count now. It took me 20 years. Well, 19 and some 19 years and some months. But I finally put this story on Kindle Vella. Now, let me tell you, I'm a low-key perfectionist. And when I finished the Kindle Vella episodes, I was so disappointed in what I had written. I was so disappointed in what I had allowed my readers to consume with my name on it. I went all the way back. I took the whole story off Kindle Vella. It was finished. So I took it off Kindle Vella. I jumped back into Microsoft Word and I got back to work and I rewrote this story and I rewrote it and I rewrote it and I rewrote it some more until it was my best work. And then I re-released it. So it went from like 300 and something pages to 557 pages. Because I was trying to shortchange myself in writing the story. So the story is about Dr. West. He's a tenured psychology professor. And that's what he does by day. But by night, he and his brothers, they go on rescue missions to rescue abused women and their children.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Isis Jones. She's a stellar psychology student. She's in her senior year. That's what she does by day. By night, as Lisa from Tales from say, she's a pole hugging vixen. And so it just happens that after Dr. West and his brother, they make a daring rescue. And, Lionel is like, let's go out and have some fun. And at first, Dr. West is like, let's not, because he's been burned, his best friend. Oh, wait. Let me not say that because I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Because what you're saying, I've read. Because I was also about to say, because I read Isis and what is his name, Lewis thing, and I was like, girl, now I know you're not gonna go back with this man when he made your coochie burn.
He had her bending over for another reason, allowing it to breathe. Because baby, he burned up. Come
on now, girl.
So it's about Isis, and her professor. The professor ends up in the club. He sees a student on stage, and that sets the stage for a very, very, it's kind of like a dark noir type erotic mystery thriller. Like it has a little bit of everything in there with several different tropes, like the age gap, professor student, forbidden romance. There's some BDSM. I say it's a soft dom because Isis is just coming out of an abusive relationship. And Dr. West, being the responsible dom that he is, knows that he can't just take her down through on that journey. So it's like a soft dom, like BDSM adjacent. You get a little bit of that. And it's a really fleshed out story. Like I didn't want to put out 2 and 3 books. I wanted one cohesive story and a standalone. And you do get your happily ever after, but baby, I take your, and it's a slow burn. So you don't get no sexy time for the first 200 or so pages. So don't go in there expecting to dive right in.
I'm okay with that when the book is that long. Yeah. Can I just say this? I'm for all of the authors now who is saying, forget giving y'all 2 or 3 books. Let me just go ahead and give you one long ass book and you better sit still and be ready because I'm going to snap you up. Like, you just dropped, like you said, a 527 page book. Takir Allen dropped 2 books. That was a bunch of pages. I'm all for that because like you said, it's just keeping people in, and then I ain't got to sit around and wait for the next book because that'd be pissing me off. So no, I'm excited, but no, I definitely start reading. But no, I'll go and download the KU to get the updated. But no, I'm loving it so far. But I was like, girl, you stupid if you go back. And then here we go. I was like, yeah, you real.
That's one thing you ain't got to worry about. I did not want to. This story is so important to me, you guys. Like so many things that have actually happened to me. Like while I didn't lose my grandmother to trigger warning, while I didn't lose my grandmother to suicide, I did lose her to domestic violence when my grandfather um, unalived her, and then he unalived himself in front of me and my mom.
Oh
So
wow.
this
Sorry
story,
to hear that.
I'm here, baby.
Yeah.
This story deals with a lot of things, heavy issues like domestic violence, and
Mm-hmm.
I tried to give an extensive trigger warning list because I don't want to accept, although I can't be responsible for, I don't know everyone's triggers. I kind of wanted to give,
Right.
I just wanted to give something because it gets deep between those pages. So domestic violence, I talk about grooming because a lot of young Black girls in the Black community, they're groomed by older men, left to single mothers or abused, so this story gets deep in there.
Yeah.
It's very important to me. So I wanted to be sure that he handled ISIS with care.
Right.
But
And
you'll
I
understand
appreciate that.
when you get
That's
in.
I really appreciate that.
yeah, and we do need more stories like this. I know a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
people want to try to shy away from trauma stories, but at the end of the day, like we need those stories too because those things help others more than people think at times. That's one thing that people don't understand. A lot of times is when you write certain things, you write it, and like I said earlier, I did say this, you writing it because it may be personal, and it's near and dear to
Mhm.
you but I found that a lot of times those type of stories, even though we're writing it maybe for us, it's meant for someone.
Right.
And
Oh wow, that's it. That's
yeah,
funny you said that. Yeah, because somebody actually, a reader, inboxed me and told me that exact same thing, and she said, I think she even put it in her review that it's something she's going through now, and she needed this
what I'm
book.
saying,
Which is why I handled everything with care. She talked about how I use my words like intelligently. Like I know we
Yeah.
like look, I love a messy book. But because this book was so important to me, I made sure I tried to handle everything with care. I was careful with the words I used. I was careful with the way I used my words. Like because the message inside this book was so deep, I just wanted to be very careful. Because words mean things and they can have a lasting effect. And
Mm-hmm.
intent doesn't change impact. So I might not intend to hurt anybody with my words, but it doesn't change the impact.
That's
exactly,
true.
exactly. And reading can
That
is
blogger girl, did you hear what she just said?
and reading is important. And those are the type of things because I've gotten those type of emails as well for some of my work where it's like you don't understand. I went through it, and so that's why I'm always a proponent. Like I stand on whatever the author wrote because you just don't know. You might not. It might not be your company, but this over here is healing somebody.
Right.
Okay, it's helping somebody get through, and those are the things that I do. Like that's rewarding, to an author because just as much as it make them feel good, it also makes us feel good to
Right.
know we're able to do this for this person. You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited. I started it. I can't wait to get to it because I really want to get to this, especially now.
Now, wait.
We
Now, once y'all finish, I want y'all to tell me, like, y'all have to finish the book first. Once you finish, I want you to tell me who you can hear narrating Dr. West, and I'll see if we pick the same male narrator.
Okay.
okay. I'm gonna tell you. Awesome.
Look, I'm thinking about somebody for Demi.
Oh my God. Like, I really wish I could get the rights back so I can do this audiobook over. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the audiobook narrator for how she,
Right.
worked. They should have given her another narrator, but, unfortunately they didn't. And she
She
did
did good with Demi's voice.
what she had to do with what they gave her. But I would love to just
Yeah.
reproduce it with male narrators for Elliot and especially Demi.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that so much.
I know. But tell everyone where they can find your.
I'm sorry, you went out a little bit at the end.
Tell everyone where they can find your.
Oh, so okay. You can find my books on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, pretty much wherever books are sold. But the newest release almost doesn't count. It's exclusively on Audible because it's under KU. But you can order the paperback if you want the paperback, and hopefully audio in the near future. We'll see what happens.
Ooh,
I hope
So
so.
love that for you.
Oh
Amazon,
my,
Barnes and Nobles, wherever they sell books, and if they don't have it, you can reach out to me. I'm Nikki Michelle, either Nikki Michelle 1984 or Nikki Michelle 84 on across all platforms. So you can't miss me. Like that's across
Oh,
all
I
platforms.
like that. 1984.
Hmm. I'm right on. I'm the end of the millennial babies. Like so, when people start talking about millennials, I'd be like, "But I was born in '84. I was born
Hmm.
in the '90s." Like, so yes,
God.
it's there across all platforms. That's where you can find me. If you can't find it at one of those places, I probably got it in my storage.
There you go.
All right. Well, Crystal, tell everyone where they can connect with you.
On Instagram, I'm Books and Soul One, but on the other platforms, which is just TikTok and Facebook, I'm Books and Soul. That's it. That's all.
Well, you guys can connect with me. I am at Author Untamed on all media. Also, please make sure that you follow the podcast on Instagram at Get Caught Up Podcast. We are also on TikTok and on YouTube at Get Caught Up Podcast and on Facebook at Get Up Author Podcast, the group. We have a whole group over there. So join the group and come by and hang out with us and see all of the past interviews, current interviews that's happening between authors, book of the month, and narrator of the month. And speaking of which, our next author interview is with Miss Young, author of The Marriage Pass and the movie named Likeness. And also, narrator of the month interview for the month of March is Elle Clevedon. So make sure that you guys tune into that. Oh, I cannot wait. Miss Elle Clevedon, I had the pleasure of having her on two of my books, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to her and have her on to the show. If you would like a commercial submitted, please make sure that you reach out to us and Get Caught Up Podcast1 at gmail.com. We have several packages available. Or visit our website at getcaughtupodcast.card.co. That's CARRD.co. And if you would like to be a sponsor, you can donate via Cash App at $US Umbrella P is in Paul 2016, or go directly to anchor.fm/get caught up. That's our podcasting site, and you can become an official sponsor. And please make sure that you follow us and check us out on Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen. Subscribe to the podcast from there and make sure that you listen to the authors. We have some great ones that every interview is just awesome, and they have amazing things that are going on. So support them to continue to purchase.
Hmm.
So, and of course, I appreciate you guys for listening week after week to these interviews and supporting the authors and supporting the Get Caught Up podcast. We appreciate you always.
Yes.
But Miss Nikki Michelle, it has been such a pleasure talking to you about Bi-Sensual. We appreciate you coming on. When we finish, we gotta bring you back. Look, you gotta come back a few times because we gotta talk about Almost Doesn't Count. We gotta talk about it, especially when you come back out with this novella. So we'll be seeing more of you.
Just tell me when.
Yes. Because I'm excited about them. Ooh, ooh.
Exactly. So we will make sure.
Mona deserves to be happy. Mona deserves to be happy.
And while she
Listen,
might not know how to receive like a healthy kind of love, well, she probably does now, but back then, while she didn't know how to receive a healthy kind of love, she did love the man. And she walked away when she knew that it was time for him and Dimitri to build something that wasn't attached to, somebody else. So she
When
does.
she said that, I was like, oh, but
mhm.
good.
But
She not super stupid no more.
Throw up at this doorstep though.
Cause he coming and he ain't gonna send no warning or nothing. Dimitri literally just shows up like
I can't wait.
That damn Jimmy. I love him so much.
Ooh, and I hope they had this cute little kid, dark skin with gray eyes and big curly hair. Oh
my gosh. Okay. So listen.
They need a little girl and a little boy.
I know I said that, it was a novella, but I had to sprinkle a little mess in there. It's a little messy.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna be looking for that.
Yes. Please.
Because there's Devin. I mean, of course there's Devin. And Devin is very in tune to Mona because he loves Mona.
Devin, speed on so you won't get peed on.
Listen, he's gonna automatically know that some man has been sleeping in his bed.
Oh yeah, because they live together.
Devin said, listen, and look, he said he is not slow. Okay. He is not the slow one. He is not the
That's because he busted wide open.
And Mona doesn't know how to act, she doesn't know how to act. Demi just literally walked in and in 10 minutes, he done turned her into a water park and an ice cream shop, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, Demi, yeah.
And Devin came home talking about who's that picking in my window.
Yes.
Nobody now.
Nobody.
And listen, and Demi is in that phase we all go through when we get older that I don't give a like the closer we get to 40 and he's hit that 40. And so he's just gonna be like, you want to fight about it? Don't matter to me.
You sure you want to fight about it? Do you see how big I am?
And if you really piss him off, he'll get real gutter. Because remember, he is an escort. You can fight about it. You want to suck my dick. But what do you want out of this? It's done. I still fucked your woman. It's done. Like, so what?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
sorry.
Right.
He came to shake up crazy.
He want his woman.
Demi said he's shaking the table. Okay. So please let us know when that book is.
Yes.
And I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate giving me the opportunity to come on the platform. I do pop in on you guys from time to time and clown in y'all's chats when y'all do lives on Instagram.
We love that. So just come on, pop in. Yes, we love it.
Pop right on in and clown with us, honey.
It's yes. I feel like this new wave of just book bloggers and book reviewers and literary hosts, you guys have brought such a breath of fresh air. You guys sipped in, read all the newer book clubs like DM's Diamonds and Tales Between the Sheets and Bourbon Street Bookers. This I guess we're gonna call this they have different waves of feminism. So I guess this is the third wave. I guess you guys are just like a breath of fresh air, man. It's just light, it's refreshing. Thank you guys for creating a platform that showcases not only Black authors, but the narrators and the reviewers. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a labor of love, like Untamed always say. I promise y'all, we're always talking about what can we do? What else can we do? What else can we do? We're always coming up with something. Always.
I appreciate it. And it does not go unnoticed. And I want to give away a ebook copy of Almost Doesn't Count to one of your readers. And I want to give away the audio copy to Bi-Sensual to one of your readers. Y'all pick how they can win them. I don't care. Just let me know who to send it to.
Okay.
So there's one audio copy of Bi-Sensual and one ebook of Almost Doesn't Count.
Okay. I got something in mind, and we'll post it. Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm Southern. My grandmama said, "Don't show up to nobody's house empty-handed." So y'all give, I receive. I want to give something in return to show.
Well, can you either give me Demi or Saigon?
I wish I could,
I mean,
especially Saigon. I don't know.
man, when I read that book, I said, who is this man? And that's when I was still in Atlanta. And I was like, and where can I find him? He over here on my side of town.
I wrote that story with Black women in mind. I'm like, damn, Black women have fantasies too. And I created Dion for us big girls. I created Dion. Like, listen, Dion said you ain't finna hoe me, you the hoe. Not Idaho, you the hoe.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I wrote Dion for us big girls, boom, she stepped into the room and she's just like, okay, and I didn't want to make her size the focal point. Yeah, she's a girl. Yeah, she plus size. But I wanted her personality to shine more. So I wrote that book with Black women in mind. Because, I gave you all kinds of Black women, skinny Black women, fat Black women, judges, single mothers. I gave you all kinds
now with 12 kids. You keep that one.
No, because Sion would tell her, do not pay me.
Right.
You got kids to go to college. Let me look.
Yeah, you keep your money.
Let me give you.
Right. This a freebie.
Right. Yeah. I did. I wrote that book with Black women in mind. And I love when you guys tell me you love that book because I wrote it with us in mind. So
woo, I wasn't ready. And then to have Emmanuel Ingram read it, narrate it.
Oh my God, let me tell y'all. He is so professional. He's such a sweetheart. Like when I reached out to him, he was just so open and just so welcoming. And I had no idea what I was doing. It was my first time paying for audiobook production myself. And I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but he was very kind. He made it easy for me to send him a payment. Because again, I didn't know what I was doing. And I miss him. Sometimes I listen to Saigon over.
I know. I think everybody misses him.
He brought that to life. And I knew he was the right narrator when he sent me an email. He was like, can you pronounce his name for me? He was like, I want to make sure I get it right. And he was like, can you tell me? He was like, is this man arrogant? Like, tell me some more about him. That's how I knew I had the right narrator. Questions. He was like, how arrogant do I need to make him? I said, lean into it heavily. And baby,
he leaned.
He leaned over to the left.
Right. He sure did. Good gosh. I was like, who is this nigga?
As the old folks say back home, he stood up in it.
He was knee deep in it. Pretty much. Oh my gosh.
So listen, if Emmanuel hears this, please come back.
We miss you. We really miss you.
So much. Whatever we did, we sorry.
Yes, we sorry. What Brown say? You got to put your hands up and say, "I'm sorry." I'm sorry.
Now all three of us doing it at the same time.
Come back, please come back.
We got to send out a bat signal, a Manny signal, but
yes.
Look, we all need to collectively do a video and like tag him in it and tag Wesley or somebody who like works close with. Can you send him this?
Please bring him back. We're sorry.
At this point, like not even begging him to come back. Just know we're thinking about you.
Whatever
you need, take your space, but you brought us immense joy. You brought immense pleasure to our ears. So yeah,
you definitely did.
And we miss you. And
yes,
come back. Like
just say it. Please come back.
Just please come back.
She did that. Y'all gonna make me log off here and go queue up Scandalous again. Like, listen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like, let me see what I want to go listen to. But yeah, or I can just go listen. Let me just wait for Demi and Mona.
I really want y'all to be satisfied. Like if y'all think Bi-Sensual is
I got it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it.
Listen, we're gonna get into that too. So
yeah, we definitely will. We got you.
Listen, I have trouble reading my work. That's how nasty that book is. I'm not exaggerating. And the book is so erotically hot. There's a scene in the movie theater where no sex takes place. But every time a reader reads that book, it's the movie theater scene. that they can't stop. There's no, there's no penis and vagina in that scene. But I wrote that scene. Like I
Oh, I know. Oh, let me find out.
Get off here and go get started on this.
Yeah,
Lord,
yeah, but yes. Mm-hmm. What's your little saying that I can't never get right at the end, Untamed?
look, I can't even get it right now. I'm about to rush
Yeah,
out for coming. God bless you. Good night.
I can never get it right.
Look, until next time.
See y'all next time.
To get caught up. Good night, because we got to go read. Good night, y'all.
Right. Good night.